I don't. All right,
Jable,
Hydra, and our government. Oh, God damn it, Michelle Obama.
How about that for an opening?
Not as bad as that one time.
Watches this.
Nobody's ever here for the opening, so it's great.
And no one watches it on demand, so it's not like it matters. Oh, hey!
There's like 3 people that watch it on demand.
If that.
Yeah, I haven't looked at it yet.
Yeah, I upload it and then ignore it till next Friday.
Never mind, I guess there were 3 people in here. Yeah, welcome to Let's Saints of Discord, your one and only pre-show to the Late Night Saints. Every Friday, 4:30 p.m. Pacific Time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Blah, blah, blah. Everybody here already knows the shill.
Yeah.
A shill at this point.
Hey, Mickey gifting a tier 1 sub.
Yeah. Thanks,
cool.
Mickey.
Thanks, Mickey. Congratulations, Skull.
Yeah, be sure to download Brave Browser using our link. And yeah, that helps us out. If you just download it and use it, they'll give us some money. That's all you have to do. And then if you continue using it, you'll get some cryptocurrency that you can give to us too, if you want.
Use it to buy a house in the Cayman Islands or some shit. Who cares?
That's not that valuable yet.
Yeah. I said, probably not a good idea to buy property in the Caymans this year.
Yeah, Steve, I do need to help you sort out the rewards thing of Jared.
An architectural star? Okay. I have no idea, but okay.
He's been
killed by video.
Yeah, he's been going to school to be an architect or something.
Oh, that's right.
That's what he's talking about.
All right. Yeah, we got nothing really going on with the Discord. I got nothing.
So, a little bit that I was going to mention just here at the start before we get into things. Recently, this week actually, my company has mandated that anyone who works with food in any capacity has to wear a mask. Considering that there have been like quarantine and lockdown measures for going on 3 months now, little fucking late, but okay.
That's just a precaution.
It's so you don't sneeze on that dude's hot dog.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we had some stupid bitch come in this morning. The tongs are right next to her. And yet she's pulling stuff off of our roller grill with her fingers.
Yeah. That annoys the shit out of me with donut shops, too.
Oh, yeah, I've seen assholes reaching into my donut case and then, like, lick their fingers and then, like, reach back in again. It's like, you motherfucker.
Yeah. If there's no tongs available, there's wax paper available.
Yeah. And there is wax paper available. 2 boxes.
Always. There's always at least 1 box. One might be empty and they haven't refilled it yet.
It kills
But since nobody fucking uses it, you never run out. I bet. So I guess there are 2 boxes all the time.
I don't have the same prejudices. But I also only touch the donut.
Yeah. Well, if I'm not going to use the wax paper and I'm just grabbing a donut, It's going to be. I'm grabbing this donut. That's it.
No, the thing is, Mickey, is that like I've been making pizzas like this entire time, like without a mask, and it's only this week that's like, oh yeah, if you're handling food, you need a mask. It's like, okay, seems like an odd time to bring it up now, but what the fuck ever.
And Mickey, the problem is like 80% of the people that test positive are asymptomatic. So that's the point.
Larry's
Hey, Larry.
here.
Hey, we got Larry. Hey, we got Larry. Hey, we got
We really
Larry.
should set up that Streamlabs.
Hey, we got
We
Larry.
really should set up that Streamlabs.
Yeah,
Hey, we got Larry.
probably.
Then we might actually make some money.
Yeah,
Hey, we got
probably.
Larry. Then we might actually.
Yeah, we're shitting on Boogie 2988
probably.
Then we might actually.
Yeah, we're shitting on Boogie 2988.
I mean, everybody else has.
Yeah, we're shitting on Boogie 2988.
Why are they shitting on him? I stopped paying
We're
attention.
shitting on Boogie 2988.
Why are they
Yeah,
shitting
I
on
haven't been
him?
paying
I
attention
stopped
to
paying
that drama
attention.
for a while.
Why are they
Yeah,
shitting
I
on
haven't been
him?
paying
I
attention
stopped
to
paying
that drama
attention. So
for a
someone has
while.
to inform me.
Yeah,
Why are
I
they
haven't been
shitting on
paying attention to
Speed?
that drama
So
for a
someone has
while.
to inform me. Why are
It's
they
mainly because
shitting on
Boogie has a
Speed?
really bad
So someone has
habit.
to inform me.
It's
Why are they
mainly because
shitting on
Boogie has a
Speed?
really bad
So someone has
habit.
to inform me.
It's
Why are they
mainly because
shitting on
Boogie has a
Speed?
really bad
So someone has
habit.
to inform me.
It's
Why are they
mainly because
shitting on
Boogie has
Speed?
just kind of finally caught up with
Oh,
it.
yeah, that's not
It's just kind of
Yeah,
finally
but how?
caught up with
Oh,
it.
yeah, that's not
It
It seems like
finally
every couple of months he says something, and
internet drama.
yeah, it seems like every couple of months he says something that people get pissed off about. It's not that
drama.
funny. What his problem is that he keeps apologizing every time people get mad. He wouldn't have the massive amounts of outrage if he just did things unapologetically and like. But it's too late now.
Yep. It's like, oh, you said something too fucking lefty, Boogie. It's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Oh, you said something too conservative, Boogie. Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Oh, that was a bad take, Boogie. Okay, oh my god, I'm so sorry.
What's his most recent bad take?
As I said, I don't know, and I don't give a shit.
Oh, yeah, it might be something on Twitter.
Honestly,
I
have
go
no
on
idea.
Twitter for yeah, I go on Twitter to promote this show, and then if I feel like scrolling, I just follow my rule.
Damn.
Frustrate me that I can't make fun
Damn,
of.
Skull.
Yeah.
Fucking doxing right there.
No.
Fucking Mickey throwing shade in the chat.
Oh, that's why Boogie was brought up. You're posting that picture. Oh, no, I just have the chat open. I don't have the stream.
Bastard. No, we have 74 followers. We had someone follow us like 3 days ago, so. How am I the doxer, Skull? You're the one who put a name to the face.
Yeah. I was told you in confidence. Pretty sure everybody here already knew that, though.
Yeah.
Probably.
That's what Scupper said he didn't care.
I love how Dina's just like, yeah, he has a point, Skull. Just a face. A random face is not doxing. By the way. Especially when it's popping out of the pooper. People are going to be sitting there going, how is that not a severed head in a toilet? They're not going to be thinking, I know that guy. Well, some people will, but they're not going to be like, oh my god, find his info.
By the way, I should post that on r/WTF.
Hey. come here often.
All right.
No. Okay.
Larry,
Two
if you ever shit out a bookie 2988, you'd be in the fucking morgue.
Hold on. First thing, if you lived, contact Guinness Book of World Records first and foremost. Second,
Yeah, gotta get that recognition.
second, if you shoot out a boogie 2988, put a camera in front of that thing and become a millionaire.
It's only gonna apologize.
Yeah.
Look at the horrors my colon have birthed.
Yeah.
So are we gonna talk about articles or?
I mean, we could, I guess.
Jake who? Mickey's trying to fill us in, but yeah, Boogie's dead. Boogie died. R.I.P. and pepperonis.
At least his relevancy did.
All right. Oh God. Yeah.
Channel
Anyway,
did
all right.
die.
Let's.
Which means he's already dead.
All right. So you want to take
my
this
lord.
first? I want this second article. So do you want to take this first one?
Yeah, I'll take the first one. The moon mysteriously disappeared 900 years ago, and scientists don't know why. On Cinco de Mayo, 1110, the moon above medieval England disappeared during a very disastrous year of famine and bad weather. A millennium later, scientists have come up with an unexpected possible answer. Volcanoes. Wait. Okay.
What?
I'm intrigued.
Just roll with it.
About 900 years ago, a skywatcher in England witnessed a total lunar eclipse that must have been baffling, even terrifying, despite the fact that the night was clear and the stars shone bright. The moon just vanished. During the unusually dark ecliptic blackout, the moon was so completely extinguished withal that neither light, nor orb, nor anything at all of it was seen. A person reported in a manuscript called the Peterborough Chronicle, adding that the dark moon continued nearly until day and then appeared shining full and bright. In the millennium since, nobody has come up with a comprehensive explanation for this bizarre occurrence. Huh. Until now. To explain what might have caused this eerily black eclipse, which occurred on the night of Cinco de Mayo 1110, a team of scientists examined tree rings, surveyed ice cores, and scoured historical archives in a recent paper published in Scientific Reports. The researchers suggest that a forgotten cluster of volcanic eruptions, possibly from Japan's deadly Mount Asama, ejected a dust veil over Europe, which created the shadowy eclipse. Still doesn't make sense. It said you could still see.
Yeah, keep reading because I don't. I think this guy's on crack.
Led by Sebastian Goulet, a paleoclimatologist at the University of Geneva, the authors note in the study that the darkest total lunar eclipses recorded since 1600 CE have all been linked to large volcanic eruptions. Luckily, the Peterborough Chronicle. They're not eclipses. What? Peterborough Chronicle offers one of the longest and most detailed accounts we are aware of for any dark lunar eclipse occurring between 500 and 1800 CE, the team said, which sparked a search for likely volcanic events that might have led to it. Okay. Goulet and his colleagues looked for hints of major volcanic activity in ancient ice cores extracted from Greenland and Antarctica. These tours are treasure troves of information about the plastic climate, including volcanic eruptions which can sprinkle ash and aerosols all around the world, The team noted that there were spikes in sulfate aerosols in the core before and during the year 1110, when the dark eclipse happened, and indicating that a volcano had belched its fumes into the stratosphere at that time. You're still not explaining the how. To bolster these observations.
Can we get to the point?
Yeah. To bolster these observations, researchers hunted down tree ring records that span this period because these patterns inside trees grow in response to seasonal climate patterns. Ring suggested that in the year 1109 in Western Europe was unusually cold and rainy, an anomaly that may have been caused or exacerbated by the global effects of volcanoes spewing dust and ash into the skies. Okay, the
A
dreary
butterfly
weather
shits
and
in fucking Japan, and Europe loses its moon. Got it.
yeah, I
That
guess
that's about as plausible as volcanoes did it.
yeah.
At least at the rate they're going.
Well, volcanoes more plot like they have climate evidence. That's fair. The dreary weather documented in the tree rings is backed up by historical accounts that Willet's team collected. In Ireland, people fasted and gave alms to God so that the heavy rain and bad weather in the summer and autumn might be dispelled. According to the manuscript of Annals of Innisfil, as crops failed, famines in France broke out that killed off many people and reduced countless numbers of rich people to poverty. Okay. That's recorded in the Chronicle of Moragny. Meanwhile, the Peterborough Chronicle, which contains the account of the dark lunar eclipse, attests that 1110 was a very disastrous year. Okay. And though these climatic and social upheavals no doubt had complex origins, Blatt and his colleagues think the combination of natural and historical evidence points to a cluster of major eruptions. One likely culprit is Mount Tasama, an active volcano on the main island of Japan. The volcano is known to have exploded in 1108. Blah, 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 blah. However, it will take more research to track down the exact sources of this ancient stratific.
What I'm hearing
The
is
root
volcanoes did it.
Not that you needed more fucking research for your explanation. Fucking lying asshole.
What I'm hearing is volcanoes did it, but we don't know how.
But volcanoes did it. It's a dust veil. Okay, then why did it just block out the moon? Said in the beginning that he could still see stars and shit. The moon just disappeared.
I have no fucking idea.
Yeah, you would think
I came here looking for answers, and I just got a bunch of gobbledygook.
Well, keep in mind this is
Yeah,
Vice.
Larry, we shouldn't. I agree with Larry. We shouldn't let the fucking French write news articles.
It's not the French. The French was doing the science.
Well, we shouldn't let them do that either.
I know. I agree now.
We should not suffer a Frenchman to live.
France was a mistake.
France was not a mistake. France is a mistake.
Yeah, but how? Thanks for explaining why, Vice, you dumb fuck.
Yeah, Vice is useless.
It used to be great. It's just garbage.
Let's move on to
What
something
happens
that's
when
less
politics
stupid.
invade?
Let's look at something that's less stupid.
All right then.
This electric jet engine could lead to carbon neutral air travel. Honestly, I saw this, I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
When
As
are they going to
land,
bring up the conspiracy theories that there's no fuel in the wings of...
no, this is an actual science article.
Oh. That stuff is funny, though.
That stuff is
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
hilarious. So as land-based travel is turning more and more towards electricity and away from fossil fuels, so may the days of carbon-neutral air travel be just around the corner for us. As fossil fuels are at the same time unsustainable and unsafe, new methods moving away from using them are needed. Now, a team of researchers has created a prototype jet engine that's able to propel itself forward only by using electricity. No fossil fuels in sight. I am honestly,
Wait, no fossil fuels in sight. That makes me suspicious.
yeah.
Hmm.
Apparently, the study was published in AIP Advances. Anyway, the device, created by researchers from Institute of Technological Sciences at Wuhan University in China.
I'm getting super fucking suspicious now.
I am also getting super fucking suspicious. Compresses air and ionizes it using microwaves. This then generates plasma that thrusts the engine forward. You know, I can
Wait, what?
theoretically, I can actually understand that. Do you need me to explain, or shall I keep reading?
I can theoretically understand anything. It doesn't matter. I'm getting real suspicious. No fossil fuels in sight. Wuhan University. Mm. They shut down the world so that they could test these rockets.
I thought it was a jet engine.
Yeah, jet engines, whatever. Doesn't matter.
They're not the same thing, Jalen.
They're totally the
Any-
same thing.
Anyway, according to this article, this means that someday planes could only need electricity and the air around them in order to fly. The main push for the team to create this new type of engine was our planet and our rather dire climate situation. Uh-huh.
My question is, what the fuck is going to be the power source?
Lithium-ion batteries.
Jesus Christ. Can you imagine how many of those you would need to lift a 40-ton fucking aircraft?
Well, it depends on
You
how
imagine?
it depends on how efficient the engine is. But the fact that it's creating plasma, I doubt it's it's not going to be happening anytime soon, even if this is real. And we got all our nice Xi Jinping and Winnie the Pooh right down there in the corner, so fuck you, China.
Oh,
Yeah, I've just been leaving that there. The
cool.
motivation of our work is to help solve the global warming problems owing to humans.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay. If you say so. Owing
You
to
know,
humans' use of fossil fuel combustion engines to power machinery such as cars and airplanes. This coming from the country that still uses coal for electricity on a regular basis and just does not try and work on its emissions at all.
Yep.
Like, coal still does have its
Hospital.
uses, but it should not necessarily be a go-to for energy. If you need it, sure. I'm not gonna say shut down your coal factory just because you need to be using less coal. I'm gonna say, hey, while that's running, start working on a nuclear power plant, preferably a thorium nuclear power plant.
Or even just upgrade the ones that we already have.
I'm talking about in a location. I'm talking about in a location that needs to replace that specific power station, but doesn't have a closed one nearby that they can activate instead.
Yeah.
Because
By
I
the
agree, we
way-
should reopen all of our nuclear power plants. Fuck, that's
Mhm.
got the same green footprint, or it's got the same carbon footprint as a wind farm with a much smaller physical footprint and much less risk to endangered birds.
Yeah.
That is just
Yeah,
far more
classic.
feasible.
We got so distracted on this. We
And
couldn't
seriously,
even.
those Green Party motherfuckers want to complain about, oh, it's damaged. Just chuck them in the fucking reactor at this point. They don't know what they're talking about.
By the way, what comes out of the top of a nuclear power plant? That's water vapor.
It's literally
fucking
just steam.
You idiots.
Just
Yeah.
steam.
Yeah.
It's not even. It's not even the
nuclear-
water that
think of-
touches the reactor core. Like it's separate
Cools
water
everything
from the
down around.
core.
Yeah. Okay, so think of nuclear power plants this way. They're just really big steam engines that use something other than wood.
Yeah.
And fire. They don't use fire either.
Yeah, no fire. That's it.
It's basically like the old-fashioned boiler concept, just with uranium instead of coal.
Well, the main reason we
Yeah.
use uranium is because during I guess it was World War II era, we found it easier to build bombs at the same time we're building nuclear reactors. So instead of using two different refinement plants, one for uranium, one for thorium, we just said, why don't we just use the uranium from the weapons refinery plants to create the nuclear power plants as well?
Okay, Larry. When it comes to the waste, we actually have technologies now. Like 90% of the waste can be reconstituted, and then everything else, Elon Musk is making things really easy to launch into the sun.
Also, it's
Not
self-contained.
only that, with the modern like thorium like salt reactors, the amount of waste compared to traditional like uranium reactors is much lower and much easier to contain and dispose of.
No, you can't get superpowers from power plants, Skull.
You can get the superpower of cheap and efficient electricity, but it's not like a personal superpower. It just does it as a side
uncontrolled cell growth, but we just call that cancer.
Also, your complaint that you have to bury it under the ground. Yeah, but you also have the ability to, contain it as opposed to coal or gasoline where the vapors just go away into the atmosphere.
Like you could
Or
always bury it underground in concrete until we find out what we can do with it, and then dig it back up and launch. I just vote we launch it into the sun. Personally,
the only reason I'm hesitant to say launch it into the sun is because then we have to go to the sun and get it, and we'll have to wait till we have better technology to do that.
what do you mean?
What?
What do you mean we have to?
It's still viable material and can be reused for certain things. It's just a matter of you.
The whole point of launching things at the sun is that it's fucking vaporized, Rimshee.
Yeah, it's vaporized, and it's very minor mass in the short term, but eventually we're sitting here looking at a 30% reduction in mass because everything that was trash we just launched into the sun, like Futurama.
Well, no. The point is, like anything that we can't reconstitute, we just launch into the sun instead of burying it.
Just have it be disposed of by intense heat, far, far away from us.
Why not just put it on the moon?
No. We're gonna have colonies there someday.
On the moon.
There's no point in colonizing the moon.
You make a couple of bases on the moon. You maybe make Moon World. But there's no point in having.
And you make a jump off. And you make a jump off point between Earth and to Mars.
Yeah, there's no real reason to have permanent.
The main thing that you would have with the moon is basically you use the moon as a staging area for other space operations. That's pretty much it.
Gravity means less fuel. Yeah. But the thing is, like, you could literally just fly up into orbit and launch it towards the sun on a trajectory so it'll get there, like we do with rovers and shit. It'd be more costly to go up and land on the moon, find a place to put it, bring it, and then get the people back. Like, unless you want to just launch it into the moon, like I'm talking about doing it with the sun. But that's just littering. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I just read this hold on, let me read this paragraph. The prototype plasma jet device was able to lift a 1 kilogram steel ball over a 24 millimeter diameter quartz cube. How do you have a diameter in a cube? Oh wait, diameter. I'm thinking whatever. Which is where the high pressure air is transformed into a plasma jet thanks to passing through a microwave ionization chamber. To keep things in scale, this corresponds to the thrusting pressure comparable to a commercial plane jet engine. Somehow, I fucking doubt that.
Yeah. I mean, not saying that it's not an avenue to look into and it might not have promise, but just to generate the amount of power that would have to run these engines consistently, I think is a little on the horizon still.
Well, my thought process is my thought process is, first off, how the fuck did they come up with a I stand corrected. How the hell can they already have thrusting power equal to a commercial plane jet engine?
Dude, there's some shady shit going on in Wuhan. That's all I'm saying.
It's called Wuhan is not to be trusted. China is, well, not China specifically. CCP is not to be trusted, and they're not going to allow this to be released unless they okay it. And if it got released without their okay, they're going to fucking be like, congratulations to whoever did this. We're going to hang you now. And or you're suddenly going to become black.
Hashtag free Hong Kong, hashtag Tiananmen Square, hashtag Taiwan exists. Now we'll never be seen in China.
You know what, I can live with that.
It's a big market.
It's a big market, but it's not like they have YouTube.
They're ruining our movies, so I don't care about their big market because their government fucks up all of our movies.
Yep.
That's not even conspiracy theory. That's just legit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm done with this article. Let's move on.
I think we're...
Yeah, Scooter, you were saying you were tired of bad news articles and stuff, so here's one for you.
Where? What am I looking at?
Third one in the list that I post every
CNN.
Week. Yeah, I got it. As soon as this blows.
We're professional, I swear.
Coming to us from CNN. An Albuquerque man found $135,000 next to an ATM. Instead of walking away with it, he called the police.
Bad idea.
Jose Nunez Ramirez was on a mission to buy socks for his grandfather. Man, this is getting really wholesome really quick. He just helped him find the right ones online after the elder man had no luck finding them in stores. The 19-year-old Nunez just needed to deposit money into his bank account to make the online purchase. When he tried, he made an astonishing find, and what he did next has earned him praise and a bit of fame in New Mexico's most populous city. Nunez drove to an ATM outside a Wells Fargo bank branch Sunday morning, just 2 minutes from his Albuquerque home, to make his deposit. As he pulled his truck alongside the machine, he spotted a clear plastic bag on the ground. It was a foot-long stack of $50 and $20 bills, he said. I didn't know what to do. I was like dreaming, Nunez told CNN. I was just in shock. I was looking at myself and just thinking, what should I do? Pocket that shit, dude.
It's 135 grand. Unless if it was a sting. That's my fear when it's situated like that.
That'd be my one. It's like this is too good to be true.
But that's when you just pocket 10 grand, make sure nobody sees, and then turn in the rest.
Yeah, just like spend it very slowly over the course of several years.
Yep.
Nunez said he never considered keeping the cash, but all sorts of wild thoughts raced through his mind. Was this some kind of trick? Was someone going to pull up behind him and kidnap him?
Here's money as a bait. We're gonna take you to a place where we can sell you into slavery. Because you can't do that in the U.S. no more. Thank God.
America. With the bank closed on that Sunday, Nunez called Albuquerque police. 2 officers arrived, and the teenager handed over the money. The officers then beat him into a bloody pulp because he was a brown man. No, sorry, that didn't happen. The officers counted the cash at their station. It totaled $135,000.
There was 140 there.
It's
150. You're not. Man, you're bad with numbers.
Jables, I'd tell you to hang yourself, but I know you get on fun.
It'll be more fun this time.
Look, you're not going bungee jumping.
Anyways,
Albuquerque police understand the money was mistakenly left outside the ATM by a bank subcontractor that was meant to supply the machine with cash, Officer Simon Drubick said. Jesus Christ, they put 135 grand in a fucking ATM?
Why do you think people steal ATMs?
I know the one at my store doesn't hold that much. This money could have made an incredible amount of difference in his life if he went down the other path, but he chose the integrity path and did the right thing, Drobick, a spokesman for the Albuquerque police, said. What kind of fucking name is Drobick?
I'm gonna name a D&D character after that. He's gonna be a dwarf.
That would work.
Good name.
When asked for comment about Nunez's actions Thursday, Wells Fargo spokesman Tony Timmons said he would defer to the vendor that services the ATMs. CNN has left a message with that vendor seeking comment. The college student says he could hear his parents' lessons in his head. Oh no, here we go again.
Yeah. Aw, feel good time.
Nunez, a college student who lives at home and helps his parents take care of his 2 younger siblings, said his family comes from humble beginnings and that no one in his family has ever been around or seen that kind of money. Nunez said that
here. Let me translate this. It's a CNN. Let me translate real quick.
Hold on. Why do I feel like we're gonna hear "Viva la Revolucion" out of this?
Nunez, a college student who lives at home under the Dream Act and helps his parents take care of his 2 younger siblings, said his family comes from Mexico and that no one in his family has ever been around or seen that kind of money. There you go. That's terrible. I'm a bad person. But this
Nunez
is
said
CNN, so that is totally plausible. that
the
would be
worst
truth.
the worst thing CNN did was make it so that a joke like that could be plausible truth behind the statement.
Mm-hmm. Nunez said that he stared at the cash, undoubtedly thinking of all the burritos and taquitos he could buy with it, waiting for police officers to arrive.
That's not
He could hear-
racist, by the way. I know plenty of Northern Californians who would be thinking the exact same thing.
I
Taquitos are
live in a heavy Hispanic neighborhood. They eat at the Mexican restaurants all the time.
He could hear the lessons of his parents in his head. My parents always taught me to work for my own. Stolen money would never last you any time. Depends on how you parse it out, man. Nunez recalled his mother and father teaching him. And for Nunez, who comes from a tight knit Latino family, there was an infamous guiding force hovering over him to be well behaved. I had my mom's voice and her chancla in the back of my head. Nunez said the chancla is a reference to an often real, often humorous threat of a flip-flop spanking to keep children on the right. That's fucking great. I love that they break up the fucking "I'll hit you with a shoe" meme. Nunez's integrity hasn't gone unrewarded. City officials feted him Thursday in a ceremony outside Albuquerque's police academy. The police chief presented him with a plaque and has invited Nunez, a Central New Mexico community college student who intends to study criminal justice, to apply for a job as a public service aide at the police department. Albuquerque ESPN Radio 101.7 FM presented him with some signed sports memorabilia that the station had, including a football autograph by former NFL and University of New Mexico linebacker Brian Urlacher. Damn.
Oh,
Damn.
well,
The radio station threw in 6 season tickets for UNM football, said station president Joe O'Neill, who had heard about Nunez's story from a police acquaintance. And at least 3 local businesses presented Nunez with $500 each, with one of them, a restaurant, adding a $100 gift card, O'Neill said.
all right. So we got what, $1,500 and then $100 gift card plus some season tickets, and some signed
And
sports
football signed by one of the most legendary players in NFL history.
Yeah, but it says some signed sports memorabilia. That was just one of the things. I wonder what else is.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know, but that's pretty cool. I mean, personally, I think I'd rather get all this shit than keep that $125,000.
Yeah, plus he gets fame on top of that, and he could ride this for a bit.
Yeah, I mean, $115,000 not worth it.
So yeah, that's just a nice, wholesome story out of CNN.
Also, he's got a proud mommy.
Yeah.
Yeah, she didn't beat him.
I feel like you want to talk about this next one, Jable.
I don't know, do I?
I think you do.
Oh, yeah, I do want to talk about this one.
Ready?
One sec. Let me grab it. No, I'm not ready. I'm not
God
ready.
damn it,
Sorry.
Jables! Why
Legitimately
don't you
not
have
ready.
all these loaded up like I do?
No, I haven't loaded up. I just don't have a beer.
Beer is necessary.
It keeps me speaking moistly.
Who here hates the term moist?
In at Little Washington, chef will fill his socially distanced dining room with mid-century mannequins.
Brilliant.
3 Michelin-star destination will also have Marilyn Monroe masks.
Like, I have so many questions about this.
A few weeks ago, the Inn at Little Washington sent out an email blast announcing that the luxury Rappahannock County destination would be reopening for dinner on May 15th, which is today. The Virginia governor, Ralph Northam, threw a hitch into Chef Patrick O'Connell's plans. Diners can sit outside only for phase one of the reopening, and those patios can be filled only to 50% capacity. The alfresco mandate wouldn't work for the inn's lavish 3 Michelin star property, so they hopefully pushed the debut to May 29th. But the 50% empty thing? O'Connell has a plan. Instead of letting tables sit vacant, the whimsical chef plans to outfit his dining rooms with mannequins. That's right, life-size human dolls, because nobody knows what mannequins are. Kind of like that scene in Home Alone when Kevin throws a mannequin holiday party to fool the burglars. The chef, who majored in drama in college, has been working with Shillington's Signature Theater to get the faux humans costumed in 1940s era garb. Servers will be instructed to pour them wine and ask them about their evening. Here's hoping the actual diners don't have any doll phobias. O'Connell says that Washington, Virginia, where the inn is located, currently has no COVID-19 cases that he knows of, despite the fact that many guests are coming from the D.C. area. He hopes to keep it that way. His staff is conducting deep cleanings involving infrared light, and he has created custom-made masks bearing Marilyn Monroe smiles and George Washington chins. Okay.
What?
I think it would do people a world of good to reduce their anxiety level when they come out to a place which is still unaffected. Because if you watch your television, you think that there isn't such a place under a bubble, says O'Connell. Friend told him, Patrick, after all these years, your location finally paid off. Wait, who's fucking Adele doggy style?
I think that was from the last one.
Okay.
Like, I
No
haven't
one.
been doing any business for 2 months. Now I'm going to ensure that I'm not doing any business by scaring the piss out of anyone that walks in here.
I like Larry's response. I'd hate to be that guy, but it's only so long before someone takes the doll to the bathroom and boinks it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well,
But I mean, I don't think having the dolls. I don't think having all the mannequins there, just like at the tables where you're forced to social distance, is a terrible idea. Because it just sort of gives a mild illusion of being in a nice full restaurant instead of, oh, I'm not sitting close to anybody.
It gives you closer to the illusion of normalcy.
Yeah. That's why I'm totally okay with it. It's okay, but anyways, guys, this restaurant is like really, really high class restaurant. So
It's a Michelin 3-star, which is kind of arbitrary, but still.
Yeah. All right. I reached the end of the article. There's nothing else.
Yep.
Yeah. What should we cover next? Yeah, we should go with what we have. So I'll take this one. Police! Pedestrian identified after man drove to Austin bar with his mangled corpse in the car. The victim's body went through windshield and ended up in passenger seat. Like, I honestly feel like we covered part of this article before.
That's because we covered a very, very similar article like 6 months ago.
Oh, fuck.
It was virtually the same thing, but in a different place and different people, obviously.
Wait, like, the dude comes through the fucking windshield and, like, happens to end up in the passenger seat. So I'm just assuming the driver's just like, I was looking
What's
for
up, bro?
anyway.
I'm drunk, mofo! Anyway, Austin, Texas. Lee Martin Cagle, what a fucking name, 55, has been identified by Austin police as the victim of a deadly collision in Austin in February. Fuck. Paul Joseph Garcia, 24, is charged with intoxication manslaughter. That's a weird way of putting he killed someone while drinking and driving.
Yeah, but I think it's a different sentence than just regular manslaughter. That's the thing.
I think it is, but like
It is
you think.
Texas. They would have a separate law for that.
Well, no, what I mean is like you'd think they'd say with intoxicated manslaughter, as opposed
Or
to
like
because
manslaughter
intoxication
while under the
manslaughter.
influence.
Yeah, intoxication manslaughter would be manslaughter of a specific caliber where you're only using alcohol to commit said manslaughter,
That's
or
fair.
only using an intoxicant. That's what it says to me. That they used an intoxicant to cause manslaughter, as opposed to they caused
Hitting
manslaughter
him with
while
his
under the
fucking car.
influence.
It is a news article. It could have been a typo.
And that's the other thing. It's like, if he hit him with his car, wouldn't that technically be vehicular manslaughter at that point?
Yeah, intoxicated vehicular manslaughter.
Yeah.
I mean, we could just keep adding adjectives to this all night.
You could probably add kidnapping, because if the dude was still alive initially when he landed in the dude's passenger seat, like
even if he wasn't alive, yeah, you kidnapped that'd be grave robbing.
grave robber.
Desecration of a corpse.
We're going to hell.
No, you're fine.
An accident involving injury and traffic offenses after he allegedly drove a mile and a half to South Austin Beer Garden after hitting Pagel with his 2014 Ford Focus. Focus on the road, Garcia!
I drove a 2016 Focus. I really like my car.
Well, I think the other article we did was a Ford Focus too.
Maybe it's just Ford Focuses. They attract drunk drivers. What are your thoughts?
Like Ford, Ford and Chevy cars are built in such a way that like people just roll right up the windshield generally. So, I mean, if you're gonna drink and drive a Ford, maybe you should.
Yeah, but this was a Ford Focus that caused it. Anyway, Pagel's body went through the windshield and ended up in the passenger seat. Had extreme traumatic head injuries and some bodily extremities detached, and left it in the roadway and inside the vehicle. The fuck?
How mangled was this body?
Jesus Christ! Is this just fucking his legs on the road and like his fucking arm is sitting on the center console? God damn!
All I can imagine right now. All I can imagine right now is he's sitting there driving along. He hits this guy. Dude goes through the windshield, lands in the passenger seat, and fucking Garcia is like, going, dude, what the fuck was that? Just hit my windshield, man. Turning and looking right at the guy he just hit.
He's fucking.
Oh wait, no,
gone.
Keep reading.
According to Austin police, Garcia drove with the mangled corpse in his car for roughly half a mile after striking Cagle, who was pushing a shopping cart near Slaughter Lane in Austin. Witnesses at the scene told Austin police they saw a car hit a person who was on foot and then keep driving to a beer garden.
No, really? Not going to say anything about the Slaughter Lane?
Yeah, that's That's more than a little convenient.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're on Slaughter Lane, you're asking for it. Larry's got it.
KVUE.
Shopping cart. No.
He should be acquitted of all charges. I'm just saying.
No, he should not. He should be given the chair.
It is Texas. I think they can still do that.
Yeah, I think they can. Honestly, if I were to be
Just still has
condemned to death,
capitalism.
I'd rather have a firing squad. They can aim
Yeah.
for my head, and my organs can be reused. Anyway,
You to play.
KV.
They can't get enough people willing to be a part of a firing squad, so they just force you to play Russian roulette.
Fuck, I'll do it. If I was sentenced to death, I don't care at that point.
Well, at that point, it's like, hey, if I don't die when I pull this trigger, can I go home?
It's like that one
I
guy we talked about that technically got sent. He got sent to the. He had a life sentence, and he had some health condition and ended up dying on the table. And then they
Hey,
brought him
thanks,
back to
Nikki.
life, and he had a whole court case about whether or not his life sentence was fulfilled.
Hey, Mickey Ficky gifting a tier 1 sub to the Dirty Kid. This is the 12th gift sub for Mickey Ficky on this channel.
Thanks, Mickey.
Yeah, Mickey apparently has a lot of money to gift subs to people and give to us.
Yeah.
We're not complaining. We're just commenting. And we love you, Mickey. You're fantastic.
It's like becoming our Kubiak.
Yeah, basically. Anyway, KVUE also reported that witnesses told police Garcia was barefoot and calmly walked from this car into the beer garden after the incident.
No fucking shoes, no service. Get the fuck out.
The affidavit said Garcia had blood on him that matched the blood found inside the car. In the Texas Alcoholic Beverage Commission, the TABC, is investigating the source of alcohol served to Garcia prior to the incident, according to KVUE. A KSET has reached out to the Travis County District Clerk for more info.
You know, it's sounding more and more like, especially how they ended that this dude literally hit and killed this man, had his destroyed body in his passenger seat, and he didn't even fucking notice. How fucked do you have to be to just calmly get out with this person's blood all over you and just like, yeah, I want a beer, please?
Yeah. I kind of think that was his. I kind of think that he thought that was his buddy in in the passenger seat, because he was just fucking gone. God, I don't know how drunk you have to be that fucking dumb and make that big of a fucking mistake.
This is like, if he hadn't hit him, like he would have just continued. Like he literally just continued on like he didn't even know the difference.
Yeah, and this guy right here, he's the junior dipshit.
I mean, just yeah, I agree with Rimshee. Get that good dude the fucking chair. Are we really losing anything? I mean, look at that little motherfucker.
He's only 24. He probably hasn't done anything yet.
He killed a guy.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, like anything good. Yeah.
Yeah, but he killed a guy. I don't care what he's done. Oh,
Yeah.
let's talk about the next drunk guy.
Yeah, I'll take this one.
At least this one's more entertaining.
Speaking of more bizarre incidents of alcohol, coming from TimesNowNews.com, drunk man bites snake into pieces for blocking his path in Karnataka's Kolar.
Bite the snake into pieces. It wasn't my path.
Kolar In a bizarre incident reported from Karnataka, Kalar, a drunk man bit a snake into pieces for crossing his path when he was riding his bike. A video of the man biting the snake into pieces is doing rounds on social media. How dare you block my path? The man was heard shouting in the video.
Just
You
run it
dare
over.
stand before me? The video shows the man holding the snake around his neck as he starts to bite it. The man, who was identified as Kumar, was returning home after buying liquor bottles, no surprise there, on Tuesday when he ran over the viper. Oh shit. He wrapped the snake around his neck and continued to ride for some distance.
What?
So he runs over a poisonous snake, picks it up, makes a necklace out of it, and then just keeps going.
Okay.
Keep going.
After some
You know,
time, he stopped in the middle of the road and began to bite the snake as passerby looked at him. Some even filmed and photographed the incident. The police arrived at the scene after 30 minutes. The reptile had died by then.
yeah. You know, Kumar would have never done this if Harold was still around.
Kumar, 38, did not know that the snake was venomous. However, he was confident that nothing would happen to him. We call this liquid courage, friend. The snake has troubled me earlier. I was angry as it came under the wheels this morning, too. Kumar from Mustor Village in Big Bald told POI. Kumar added that he did not visit any doctor after the incident. After the lockdown restrictions were eased, the sale of liquor resumed in green and orange zones on Monday. Several people ventured out of their homes to buy alcohol. However, this led to many buyers violating the social distancing norms. Earlier this week, a liquor bill that amounted to Rs 52,841 had the name Vanilla Spirit Zone on top, went viral on WhatsApp. That doesn't fucking mean anything. Who cares?
I
Came
just
here to learn about fucking
dude was
snakes.
fucking drunk and bit a fucking snake into pieces after
To be
making it
fair,
his
You're
necklace.
wearing it as a necklace when he ran it over with his bike.
to be fair, the snake did get under his wheels in the morning, and he ran into the snake again. It's totally the same snake.
Yeah.
Mickey, it was a viper. It could have killed him very easily.
Yeah, Larry. Meals on wheels. More like meals under wheels.
And around neck.
Yeah. Yeah. My mind is going dirty places that we shall not talk about during the show. Involving the term meals on wheels.
Who's taking the next?
I'll take it. Unless Rimshee really wants to take it.
Oh, I don't care. I'll take Kanye after.
Yeah. I bet you would take it. Starving, angry, and cannibalistic. America's Takashi 6ix9ines are getting desperate amid coronavirus pandemic.
Honestly, I
America's
don't.
Takashi
Go ahead.
6ix9ines are being hit hard by the coronavirus as millions of Americans shelter indoors to combat the deadly virus, which has claimed over 21,000 U.S. lives. This is an older article from like April 13th, guys, so it's a little higher now. Including restaurants and grocery stores have closed or limited operations, cutting off many rodents' main sources of food. On deserted streets across the country, rats are in dire survival mode, experts say. If you take rats that have been established in the area or somebody's property and they're doing well, the reason they're doing well is because they're eating well. Bobby Corrigan, an urban rodentologist, didn't even know that was a freaking job, told NBC News. Ever since coronavirus broke out, not a single thing has changed with them because someone's doing their trash exactly the same in their yard as they've always done it. Poorly. But many other rats are not faring as well, said Corrigan, who works as a consultant for several city health departments and businesses, such as airports and shopping malls. Okay. A restaurant all of a sudden closes now, which has happened by the thousands in not just New York City, but coast to coast and around the world. And those rats that were living by that restaurant, someplace nearby, and perhaps for decades having generations of rats that depended on that restaurant food, well, life is no longer working for them, and they only have a couple of choices. And those choices are grim. They include cannibalism, rat battles, and infanticide. I don't like this.
Is that even classified like rat battles?
Yeah, it's rat battles. I think Tekashi 69 was in a rat battle once. Sorry. I'm just making myself laugh now. It's just like we've seen in the history of mankind, where people try to take over lands and they come in with militaries and armies and fight to the death, literally for who's going to conquer that land. And that's what happens with rats. He said, a new army of rats come in, and whichever army has the strongest rats is going to conquer that area. I would love to see Ratatouille 2, restaurants are closed, Electric Boogaloo. Like,
Well, he already closed one.
It's literally fucking Gangs of New York with rats. That's actually kind of awesome.
literally Gangs of New York. Oh, this is, yeah, I want to see, yes, remake Gangs of New York with rats.
And base it during the COVID
Yeah, I'd
crisis,
watch
because
it.
that would make it even better.
Yeah, well, of course.
Except this movie would be even more extreme because at least in Gangs of New York, they didn't eat each other after the fight was over.
Yeah, but an animal eating an animal's exactly the same as us eating each other.
Yeah, all I can imagine now is, hey, Johnny, what you eating? A little bit of Jimmy.
It's just
He
like
had
we've
it
seen
coming.
in the history of mankind.
He had it coming.
Rats whose food sources have vanished will not just move into other colonies and cause fights over grub, but will also eat one another. You know, I think they've actually solved New York's rat problem.
At least
You're
in
just
the
gonna
short
have
term.
like one gang. Yeah, you're just gonna have one gang of super rats. That's pretty.
Yeah,
They're
and
going to
then you
start
can
demanding
call it.
protection money when the restaurants reopen.
Then you can
Yeah.
call in the military to hunt them down because they'll be big enough to be like worth killing.
Yeah, they're mammals just like you and I. So when you're really, really hungry, or you're not going, when you're really, really hungry, you're not going to act the same. You're going to act very bad, usually, he said. So these rats are fighting with one another. Now the adults are killing the young in the nest and cannibalizing the pups. Oh shit.
Maybe we
That's
did
an
cure.
Man.
Maybe we did cure the rat problem. If they're eating their own young,
Yeah.
fuck them.
Yeah. Residents
Babies
of
turned
dense
into
urban
eating
areas
meat.
in some rural parts of the country have coexisted with these vermin, but the sightings in some cities have increased in recent weeks because of the pandemic. In New Orleans, where Louisiana's governor imposed a stay-at-home order that shuttered many restaurants, particularly those popular in tourist areas like the French Quarter, a viral video posted in March showed swarms of rats taking to the streets to find food. Thank you, article, for linking that viral video. I will be looking into that shortly. what we have seen is these practices are driving our rodents crazy. Mayor Latoya Cantrell said at a news conference late last month. And what rodents do, they will find food and they will find water. That puts our street homeless in dire straits. And that's why I'm so laser focused on it right now.
So the rats are also going to eat the
It-
homeless?
Potentially, I wouldn't be surprised.
They'll try.
If you can't fight off the
No
rats, I'm
comment.
sorry, you're no longer homeless. You're dead.
Well, no, you're no longer homeless. You now have a home in its belly until you're evicted.
You now have a home in heaven.
You've probably got like 60,000 homes.
Can you imagine being some poor fuck stuck in his apartment, listening to the sound of the rats tearing each other apart right outside your walls?
Just keep crying.
Yeah,
Just
if
keep
I was like laid
crying.
off, if I was laid off and shit, I'd videotape it. Fuck it. I watch bug fights all the time. Why not watch rat fights? I've seen a rat fight a bird once. That was dope.
That'll be the true final war: the rats versus the seagull.
Claudia Rigel, director of New Orleans Mosquito, Termite, and Rodent Control Board, told the Times Picayune newspaper that the city is preparing aggressive pest control measures. These rats are hungry, so we want them to eat our bait, she said, adding that the city is going to put a lot of pressure for at least the next month until the population decreases. Why not just, they're all hungry, eliminate all of them?
Yes, mass poisonings.
We don't want to kill the rats because they're part of New York culture.
Well, this is New Orleans. We moved.
New Orleans culture, too, let's be honest. Although their rats are slightly different. They have both the human variety and the animal variety.
Washington, D.C. is also taking steps to combat rodent issues. Mayor Muriel Bowser shut down restaurants and other businesses. Yes, they shut down restaurants. But before the pandemic, the city had already aggressively implemented pest control measures, including the use of feral cats. Ooh, feral cats. That's actually now would be a perfect time to release a shit ton of feral cats. Oh man, cats versus rats. Come on. Tell me you
Rats
don't
have
want
a
to see that
mayor?
massive. Well, they live in the city, don't they?
Yeah.
All right. They're just gonna keep saying the same things.
Yeah.
Fucking rats.
Ratty rat old man.
Let's talk about this guy. Kanye takes to beeping at his friends, calling words the lowest form of communication. Uh-huh.
Yeah, because Kanye West is such an upper level being at this point.
He is, dude. You don't know.
He's up for his own ass more than most. I would give him that.
For the time being, Kanye West seems done with man-made constructs like time, space, money, and, most likely to the detriment of those around him, the human language. It's a dubious move for a musician who has built a majority of his career on recorded spoken word.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, wait to hear his next Binary album.
He should do an album and call it Binary. I think words are one of our lowest forms of communication, West begins in a new GQ cover story. Music, sound, food, dancing are non-verbal forms of communication. We get so wrapped up into words. We got to make things that are speechless. We have to make things that leave people speechless. We have to make things that leave that level where no one can say anything.
Yeah, we should just aggressively jerk off at each other like our ancestors did.
I was about to say something along those lines.
To be fair, Elon Musk is trying to do the whole Neuralink thing so that we won't have to communicate with words anymore. I think Kanye is onto something.
Yeah, I don't think that's what Kanye's onto.
No, I think it's
not.
this. You're the drug expert. What does this sound like to you?
Meth.
There's also the issue of West calling music a non-verbal form of communication, which seems to discount a wide swath of musical professionals, including singers, songwriters, and rappers, all of whom tend to use words. From there, West reveals he's been replacing human sounds with beeps. The greatest form is to challenge the vernacular, West continued, or add something to the vernacular I saw. Alex designer and former Donda member Matt Williams in the hotel lobby at the Mercer a couple weeks ago. Right when I saw him, I started communicating in beep sounds. You know, the beginning of the Big Boy Digital song, like that.
Bobby Digital song?
The Bobby Digital song. Why did I say Big Boy?
No.
Well, there is Bob's Big Boy Restaurants.
Yeah, but that doesn't.
Don't ask questions. In the early 2000s, RZA played a character aptly named Bobby Digital, who would beep like a late 90s modem as a form of communication. God damn it, what the fuck is this bullshit?
So, real quick, Rimshee obviously doesn't know his Wu-Tang.
Nope. Over the past few years, West has taken to replacing lyrics on his album with screeches and screams, which, at the time, seemed like either a visceral attempt to convey meaning or a convenient way around finishing rushed songs. Now, it's unclear whether this was West's first shot at a post-verbal existence or not. When asked if Williams returned his beeping communications, West said, "We hugged and started using memories to attempt to communicate the future." What the fuck is he on?
They smoked a joint after that. He's probably taking a shit from acid.
Because whatever he's got, it's got to be the good stuff. I mean, he's rich and famous, so no shit, but still.
Oh, maybe they did touch belly buttons. You know,
Did they stop at belly buttons? I have no idea.
Bring up an earlier part of the article, though. I honestly think that if you replace the
hold on. Thank you, Larry. Just
gotta ban Larry now because he talked about that one.
What, the Wu-Tang Clan?
Yep. Gotta ban him now before his influence spreads.
Anyway, what I was gonna say though is I think I could agree that in the case of mumble rap, if you were to replace the lyrics with beeps and boops, it might actually be tolerable.
Yeah, that's plausible. It's not
Not
something
saying
that
it would be, but there's a possibility at least.
But since we were talking about Wu-Tang Clan, I kind of wanted to talk about another clan.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Link's in a live show. This one wasn't played. Rimshee will know what it's about once he sees it.
Oh yeah.
Skeeter. Who the fuck are you calling Skeeter, Larry?
Yeah, it's Scooter.
James?
It's O's.
Skeeter's dirty.
There
All right.
is a pig farm not too far from me. I can dispose of bodies, motherfucker.
Jables, do you want to take this next article?
If we're talking about the one that I posted, then yeah.
No,
I
the
think
one
that's
before
fine.
it.
The one before it, Philadelphia Man?
Yeah.
Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah. Yeah, the Philadelphia.
Was a movie with Tom
That's
Hanks.
fine. I wanted to do the clan one, but whatever.
Maybe next week.
Aw. Okay.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
we do.
Mickey. You're the only here that respects me.
We have plans,
Yeah, Scooter,
people.
did you read this one?
Oh shit!
Okay.
Jeff just subscribed.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey man, welcome to the show.
Welcome. Thanks for subscribing. I really appreciate it.
Took you long enough.
Jeff, did you ever watch Dick Shark? I sent it to you. All right. Okay, hold on. No, I have to know. Jeff, what did you think about it?
You know, you can pop into the live show whenever you want, Jeff.
Yeah, that is true. You do have the power to do that. Just hop into the Lesser Saints Discord and then pop in.
Yeah, we'll tolerate your presence.
Okay.
Mickey Ficky gifting on tier one, so it's time to crispy Jen.
Jeff, we only have like 5 minutes left of this show. So it's now or never.
Yeah, either get in or get the fuck out.
Or next week.
Yeah, it's not like you don't know what time.
On the show next week. Yeah. All right, and Scooter, you want to read this one?
Yeah, which one is it now?
Philadelphia.
We're doing the Philadelphian.
Okay. Just a second. Philadelphian, desperate for human interaction, resorts to chucking D-sized batteries at self. Philadelphia. Quarantined Bella Vista resident Zach Simmons is so desperate for any interaction with his fellow Philadelphians, he's resorted to hurling D-sized batteries at his own head, concerned sources report. As someone from Philadelphia who roots for the Dallas Cowboys, oof, New York Yankees, oof, and LA Lakers, god damn, man, are you have a death wish? I've always been treated like a bandwagoning piece of shit. Before the pandemic, there was rarely a day that went by in which a random stranger didn't tell me to go fuck my sister or my mother or even my grandmother. But now that I haven't left my apartment in weeks, I somehow sort of miss it, said Simmons. Maybe this quarantine is driving me crazy. But looking back, there's something charming about a 6-year-old girl telling me Dak Prescott is a crumb bum piece of shit and spitting in my face.
Yeah.
Girlfriend Natalie Ritter admitted she is worried about Simmons' mental health. I love my boyfriend, but sports is pretty much it for him. With hockey, baseball, and basketball postponed and football months away, he's got no personality and so much time on his hands. I thought seeing him futilely throw batteries at the back of his dome would be the worst of it, but then I caught him checking the state-by-state coronavirus death tolls like it was fantasy football. He even threw a full beer at the TV when Pennsylvania beat Texas.
What the fuck?
That's great. With the struggle so many Philadelphians are facing, Major Jim Kenney was asked that citizens not lose hope during the pandemic. Despite the stay-at-home order, the mayor's office is urging all of Philadelphia to try to live their lives as best they can. Our strength in the face of jabronis and our resolve to spam every RNFL thread with 41 to 33 is the only way we get through this, said Kenney. When life returns to normal, we want all Philadelphians healthy enough to eat horseshit off the ground. Mental health experts are finding that many quarantined Americans are experiencing similar feelings, but at least one African American man from Boston reporting that he misses being racially profiled any time he leaves Roxbury. Damn it. That was spicy. I like that.
Wow, that was better than I was expecting, I'll be honest.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Alright. So, like we do at the end of every show.
Well, is he ready or?
Yep.
Yep, there he is. Continue on.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. It was great. Thank you, Mickey, for constantly gifting subscriptions to everybody. Thank you, Jeff, for subscribing. We'll see you next week, and I'll probably see you on the next show, like usual. Talk to you guys soon over in the late night Saints chat.
Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Rating now.